Welcome to Small Steps. My name is Seth Potts and I'd like to show you Xlookup and Vlookup in Excel. Vlookup is an Excel function to look up data in a table that is organized vertically. In this example, we're using RMS data that includes a report date, an offense, and a NIBRS code. Let's say that's all the information your RMS provides you regarding the NIBRS code. Common requests would be information on the NIBRS grouping, Group A, Group B, or the crime against category, such as society, person, or property. Now, if you have a table already made up, the Vlookup function would allow you to reference this table to get that additional information. Click into the cell that you're wanting to start on and start typing equal sign in Vlookup. And the different parts of this you'll have include the lookup value. For this case, it's going to be this code right here. You can just click in that cell. The next part is the table array. So in Vlookup, you would go to the table that you have, and let's say for this we're going to look at the NIBRS code, and we're just going to look at the group A or B here. And then the next portion of it is the column index number, and what that is referring to is which one of these columns of the array that you just selected is going to have the information that you want returned. In this case, it is 2. So we'll put that in there. And the result pulls Group B out of that second column there. One thing to note is the array that we chose, it automatically defaults to a relative reference as opposed to the absolute reference. And that will cause a problem if you go ahead and try to pull that function down. You can see we get a couple of these errors here. As you see right here, what it's doing is it's moving both of those beginning and end of that array down as you go. So what you're going to want to do is when you select it, you can click up here in it right now. If you forgot to do it when you were choosing it originally, you can select F4, and it goes ahead and puts in those dollar signs that makes this an absolute reference. So once we do that, pull that back down, you can see it corrects all that there. Xlookup is an Excel function that was introduced in Excel 2019 and is the successor to Vlookup. Just like in Vlookup, we're going to select that top cell and start typing in the Xlookup. The lookup value is going to be the same. It's going to be that code there. Where it starts to get different is in this table, instead of selecting the entire table or all the columns that you're going to use, you just have to select the column with the matching lookup value. Another difference and upgrade here with Xlookup is that you can select multiple columns for your return. So if we just wanted Group A, Group B, or we just wanted this category here, we can select either or. But if we want both like this, you can actually highlight both as your return array. The other items on the end are just optional. Typically don't use those, but if you wanted to have a certain text if the value is not found, or there's different options for match mode other than what it defaults to, and what I typically use is an exact match, and then a search mode. There's a couple other things you can play around with, but none of those are mandatory, so we don't need them. We will just close the parentheses here, and kind of like before with these arrays up here, you want to make sure that you make those absolute references there with the dollar sign. So once you have that, you see it'll populate both those fields, and just like before, you can fill those down and it will go ahead and fill both of those columns. If you found this tutorial helpful and would like to see more, click like and subscribe. The next few videos will be a short series over pivot tables, starting with the basics.